and welcome to volume number 68 of Coffee with the Tigg for July 7th, 2018. Yeah, I know. It's weird not doing this every day. And some people, one I know of for sure, misses watching these every day. It's just almost impossible with the 10 to 11 hour work days that I have to get up in time to do this and everything else I have to do in the morning. Basically walk the dogs, make sure I've got all my stuff ready to go to work, and then, excuse me again, drive the half hour to work, 20 minutes, half hour, whatever. Anyway, first drink, grab that coffee cup. I'd like to talk a little bit more about sim racing today. I wish there was some content that had dropped in the last week for any sim that would be worth really talking about, but unfortunately nothing has really dropped. There's some stuff talked about over at the race department about the F1 2018 game sim. By the time that drops, season's probably going to be over the way it's looking. I don't know what's taking them so long. There's also 4 videos for Assetto Corsa's Competition Zone, their new sim that's coming out eventually. I haven't heard of a release date for that either. So that's there. There's also they also want your opinion on the best version, sim version of Silverstone. I'm reading, and I really didn't prepare for this again today, like always. There are also, where is it? Something about, oh, yeah, and R Factor 2. There's another update coming from them that's going to have, or it came. I haven't gone over there. I haven't turned on my R Factor 2 to check for updates. And by the way, Santa High Bank hit me again last week, and I don't think I mentioned it. I mentioned that, he gifted me some more Sims because they were on sale till last, Thursday over at Steam. Yeah, you can tell by my voice I'm still battling that congestion and stuff too. But he gifted me Project Cars and R Factor 2, which were pretty cheap, and I've not really spent a lot of time with either of them. Thus far, I'm liking R Factor 2, the little bit that I've got to run it, and the update that's supposedly released is rain and VR improvements. I don't have VR. I don't know if I actually ever want to do VR. I may try it. I'm not sure, but I would have to get the whole 9 yards. I think you have to have the phone for it, and I just have a little phone, which I don't even know where I set it. It's probably over there where I left it. Let me think. And rain. It's funny. Just when I saw that the other day, I was thinking, and then again this morning, I rethought it. When I saw it, I've been up since 6. I slept in for 3 whole hours today. Woohoo! When I saw that, it's funny that GTR2 had rain in it 10 years ago, 11 years ago, whenever that came out. It may have been 2006. I don't even remember when GTR2 came out. I could look it up while I'm sitting here, but I'm not going to. But they've had rain with working wipers. And it's pretty cool to do it occasionally for that long. And it's taking the rest of these Sims companies another 10, 11 years to catch up. That's one thing. If you have GTR2, that's one of the best things about it, is you can actually drive in the rain. R Factor, you can get wet tracks. Nothing in Assetto Corsa, at least as far as I can figure out. It's kind of like R Factor in that aspect. Project Cars, I haven't figured that out yet. I'm gonna have to turn on my R Factor 2 to see if the download's there, or go to wherever you figure it out to get the update. Still playing with it, figuring it out. The one thing I do like about Project Cars is they have the track line like NR2K does, on the track. Um, so of course it has it too. I'm going to wind up putting that back up because what I'm figuring out now is not like the NR2K one where it's up to the track maker and half the time it's messed up. Only a few track makers do it right. John Norton's one of them. But I'm still battling this. This sucks. It's been almost a week and a half now, and I'm tired of it. But when I was running Project Cars, I noticed that it's the proper race line. It changes colors to your brake. It's not all green or all red or all yellow like some track makers do in NR2K, where it's all wrong. It's cool when it actually turns back to yellow or green, changes colors as you're braking, so you know how to lift and where to lift. I think it's cool. There's not much else that so far the Project Cars that I've seen. I've only ran it a couple times, maybe a total of 2 hours. I think that's what Steam says. Probably wrong. I probably ran it less. Who knows? I don't know. But that particular feature I do like. I don't want to get used to relying on it, so I turn it on and off. But I think it's a cool feature, and it teaches you and how to drive the track, which line to follow. My coffee cup's almost empty too. I've been chugging that. But I'm going to turn the one back on in a set of course and see what that's like, because I know it's there, and I had it on once, but wasn't paying attention because most of the other sims don't have the race line on the track, so you don't want to start relying on that to find your way around the track and go around and looking for that. You want to look for your marks on the track side, like real racers do. They don't have a green line or a red line or anything. Anyway, I'm getting sick of it. Seriously sick of it. Anyway, it's terrible, and I haven't had congested last this long, and I don't know how long, so I'm thinking I had something more than just the flu. I may have had bronchitis. My wife thinks I have walk-in pneumonia, but I don't think so. Anyway, take another drink. Got this cool shirt on. It says, "I'm not always an asshole. Just kidding, go fuck yourself." So anybody that doesn't like the F word, fuck you. I'm just teasing. I'm not always an asshole. Actually, I'm hardly an asshole at my new job. Not like when I worked at Lennox, where you had a bunch of dumb kids. If you don't show up, you don't work here. Where I work, it's like I said, it's 10, 11-hour days, and it's hard work. A lot of physical demanding. I spent all day yesterday inside of what they call a sleeve, taking it from 12 foot to 6 foot, taking bolts out, putting bolts in, scraping. It's a lot of hard work. It's amazing. You wash your hair for 10 minutes, and the next morning you run your hands through your hair, and you still find concrete in it. Concrete gets everywhere. Anyway, back to sim racing. Over it's the not. Okay, now I've talked about it before, and they're hot lapping. Me and Highbank, or Highbank and I, whatever you want to call it. He started it, and I added one more to it, where we're taking the Lotus 49, it's the 67 car from Lotus, F1 car, taking it to Brands Hatch in several different sims, and most of them are default mods with the default track. The only one that's not is R Factor. So you get to, if you run it, and in R2K, they don't have that mod in there, so it's not, you can run the PTA physics, doesn't matter which car you take. So he took out the 8067s there, and I did that one this morning just to knock it out and get it out of the way. I had to turn on my other computer to do the Grand Prix Legends because I can't get it to run on this one. I only get a quarter of a screen. I haven't figured out how to fix that yet. I haven't had a lot of time to play with it, so I had to turn on my other computer and use my Microsoft Sidewinder to get that done sometime today. The R Factor 2, the Assetto Corsa, Project Cars, I forget all the ones. Let me get over there real quick. and C. I can't remember what they all are, but I'm scrolling, and you notice it got darker because they have a dark background. I'd say it's Project Cars, yeah, Grand Prix Legends. I did that. I posted that one. He didn't do it, but I went ahead and posted it. Assetto Corsa, and it's an in-game, it's an in-sim car in track. Project Cars in-sim, R Factor 2 in-sim. So you get to see, it's a cool comparison, and if you want to write up, you should write up after you do this. You don't have to do, if you don't have NR2K, most, hardcore simmers don't do WoW sims, and honestly, the PTA physics, they're not the greatest. I'm thinking they're like, they go 200 miles an hour if you get if you adjust on the setup right, they don't have a lot of downforce, so it's like a 70s car, 80, 67. There's actually the altered exec out there for it, but it's illegal. So you can't do that, which would be more realistic because it gets it up to about 180, which would be, basically the real in 5 years instead of 6. So it would be the, more like the 67, 68, 69, in that era F1 car, but you can't use it because it's illegal. If you have it, if you can find it, I have it left over from years ago. I kept transferring it from computer to computer. I actually do have it, but I don't use it nearly as often as it should be used because it was great. But the man who made that got sued by iRacing, so we stop with that. No, there's the roast chart. Anyway, take another drink. You really want to figure out hot lapping. This is a good one to do. Go over there. They were all posted in the last couple of days for the Lotus 49 at Brands Hatch, the long, not the Indy course, but the long course. Go over there, take another drink, figure the eyebrows, just in case anybody's paying attention to what I do instead of just listening. But head over there, check it out. Oh, by the way, thank you to the last 2 people who subscribed to my YouTube channel. I am now at 35. Woohoo! Unfortunately, they do not share videos there, so I don't know who they are, but thank you, getting me to 35. So the next goal is 40 in the next couple of months. We'll see if we can get 5 more guys to subscribe, and maybe I'll talk more. This is actually running longer than the norm, but since I'm not doing it as often, 10 minutes just seems a little short. So take a drink when I say too. How about that? You'd be drunk off your ass by the time I'm done talking for 15 minutes. Or just do coffee. Straight coffee. Sugar, creamer, whatever. Cappuccinos, whatever you like. But, yeah. One of these days I'm going to get around to getting a cappuccino maker too, so I can have some of those. Because I like those too. I like that's the only way I drink non-black coffee is if it's a cappuccino. Like you get at McDonald's, Panera Bread, Starbucks. Friends don't let friends drink Starbucks. Terrible coffee. Terrible coffee. Actually, there's a place in Knoxville that makes pretty good coffee. Knoxville, Iowa. At least there used to be. Anyway. Tell us about the coffee in your area. Who makes good coffee? And then don't say Starbucks because their stuff is it's like drinking freaking, not mud. It's like eating straight beans because it's so strong. I like strong coffee, but that's some strong ass coffee. Usually after I drink a Starbucks, if I'm tired and I can't get going, that's when I drink a Starbucks. That's the only time because it is so freaking. It's like drinking 10 cups of coffee in one. For me, anyway. Now we've talked about coffee. We talked about sim racing. We talked about my job. Talked about this stupid cold phlegm I can't get rid of, just driving me nuts. And I don't think there's very much more. Just guys who I've tried to talk to a few guys on Facebook. I've added I posted videos, links to my videos at YouTube. But not a lot of new guys have come over to Stenods. It's just, primarily, yes, it's an NR2K site, but me and Highbank and I, whatever you want to call it, we like doing other things, and we kind of control that. I don't know if you want to use that particular word, but we kind of run it. He runs it. I follow suit because, I like it. I'm not the greatest driver in the world. I'm figuring that out now, really, now that I have a computer that can run 150, 200 frames a second. I'm a terrible driver. I still enjoy it. Never will stop. God, no, it won't pop. This is like air bubbles, just film that goes over my lungs, and it sucks. Is it getting darker? Okay, let's do that so it gets a little lighter in here. No, that ain't any lighter. Let's do this. Nah, still ain't any lighter. Anyway, we talked about sim racing. We talked about I'm lost. I need to write a script. No, I can't do that. I couldn't follow it even if I did. But there you go. Brain fart. We'll do another one of these tomorrow. Don't think it'll be quite as long as this because I talked a lot. Who knows? It could probably be. I might use that time to just vent a little bit about some of the things I see in the real world, especially my job, or some of the idiotic things I see in sim racing where people think, well, I won't get into that because we're at 16, almost 17 minutes now, so. There's more to life than the racing and NASCAR. That's all I'll say. Anyway, NASCAR is like the youngest racing sport there is, and as a grand touring event. Yeah, even though some of the other ones have been around in different forms and different names, NASCAR is still one of the newest forms of racing, sanctioned body racing there is. Most of the other stuff's been around twice as long, 3 times as long, twice as long. These cars haven't been around that long. Anyway, take another drink, smoke me a kipper, I'll be back for breakfast.